everyone, welcome to Carla's Stitching Journey. It's been a hot minute since I put out a video. Today is November 30th, 2025. It is a Sunday and I have a lot to show you today. I have a finish. I stitched on 8 WIPS. I have 2 of those are new starts, and we're going to jump in. I want to welcome you to this channel. Thank you for joining me. If you're new, if you have been here with me from the beginning, I'm so glad you keep coming back for my crazy. And because I have so much to show you today, I'm just jumping right in. As far as stats goes, so far since my last video, I just totaled it up, 17,065 stitches. I did not do my year-to-date total, but I do know that I'm over 230,000 stitches for the year. That officially makes this a very high record high for me. I've never stitched this much before. So I have stitched every day, pretty much. There's a few days I've missed this year. I will give you those stats on the next video. And I try and stitch, even, I know at one point I was in New York, I did 4 stitches just so I stitched that day. So I do try everything I can to at least put some stitches into something. I want to share some stitchy kindness that came to me this week in the mail from my friend Marianne. Marianne and I met in person at the Grace Notes Fabrics Retreat. We were there. She sat at my table. We had talked prior to, because she found me through one of my games and then watched my videos, and so then we started kind of, I told her I felt like she was kind of my pen pal. But I did get a gift from her, and I wanted to show everybody because I've never seen anything like this before. This is a Christmas Advent calendar. And it comes in, and it says it's in a matchbox. So remember those old time matchboxes, you know, the wooden stick matchboxes you'd have to strike on the side? That's what this is set up like. And I thought that was really cool. And inside, I wanted to show you, when you open the box, it comes with 24 patterns. I'm not going to show you the patterns, but there is, behind all of these, there is 24 Christmas patterns in here. It also comes with 24 pieces of fabric already pre-cut, and it looks like there might be like a fusible something on the back, but it comes pre-cut, ready to go in this nice blue fabric. Now this isn't your linen, and it's kind of like an odd weave. I'm going to hold it up there close so you can see it, but it is a different kind of a weave. Comes with 4 James needles, and or 3 James needles, and it has a little frame. But I thought this size, you could really easily, with the patterns there, you can easily turn these into little ornaments, like little take little round discs and put the back on, and a little not lace, ribbon loop that you can make little ornaments for a little tree with these. So I'm kind of excited. Well, I'm not kind of, I am excited. And it came with all these different flosses. They're all DMC flosses, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 skeins of floss. And of course it gives you directions. So how to do a cross stitch. So they recommend using 2 strands, back stitching with 1 strand. I looked at the patterns. There's not a lot of back stitch on them, so bonus for me, because you know how I feel about back stitch. I'm not a fan of back stitching, but I'm really excited. The patterns are small enough that I think I'm going to start these and do 1 a day through December. I'm not going to do the Flossmas that you see a lot of people are out currently now doing, are going to be starting their Flossmas vlogs where they're doing a vlog every day. I don't plan to do that, but I do plan to stitch 1 of these each day, and I can show you when I do my update videos so you can see how they're coming along. So I want to say thank you, Marianne. I loved it. I was not expecting anything. It was really cool. I walked outside and I'm telling my husband, I didn't order anything. He's like, yeah, right, Carla. Well, nope, I didn't. So thank you, Marianne. I appreciate it. And they're just the right size. My husband's like, are you going to put that in the vehicle so that you have a go project? I'm like, I'm not putting that in the vehicle. I'm going to stitch them. But it would make a good to go hand project in the vehicle if you're traveling. And so I wanted to tell you about that, and I wanted to thank her, which I did. So let's move on to the stitching. So I had to finish. This is my little house neighborhood. This was the project that I had assigned to, sorry if there's a glare. I guess I do have kind of a glare in my eyes. I assigned this project in my Flosstube Frenzy for Grace Notes Fabrics. She posted a video. I should be advised not to try and shame floss tubers into doing videos because they have handed me my tuchus over the last couple of weeks. So this project, because of her video, I ended up with 3,000 stitches that I needed to do, which was going to put me close to a finish if not finished. It was close. And I was enjoying stitching on it so much, I kept stitching. And so with 3,000, and I want to look at my notes, 3,925 stitches, I did get a finish. This was started, I didn't put my start date on my cart, did not put when I started on, but I'm pretty sure it was 2021. Anyways, it is now finished. This was a racked project that came to me from Australia. From Lisa at Paddock Lane Designs. She did the fabric and sent me the pattern because I mentioned on her floss tube how much I liked it. The pattern's already spoken for. My niece wanted it. I'm giving it to her today. But here we are. This is the finish and I love it. This is a 28 count even weave hand dyed by Paddock Lane Designs in Australia. And I stitched this 2/2. I did make some of my own. I know the sheep aren't showing up well. I kind of debated whether I should outline the sheep, but in person you can easily tell that there are sheep sitting there underneath that tree. And there was a fence down here that was also in white, and I decided it really didn't need the fence. So I did not put that fence in there because I just didn't think the white really popped well on this fabric unless it was surrounded by something like the girls' aprons up on the top. It says a little house, a little tree, a neighborhood for you and me. And I did use that's all with DMC colors. And the fabric is called Dusty. And if you want her information, this is her Lisa Lane's information at Paddock Lane Designs. So, and I love it. Let me see if I can get it any closer. You wouldn't believe the stuff I have on my table in front of me. So, this is it. So that's a finish. It comes off of my WIP list, which I counted. I currently have 74 current WIPs going into next year. I don't know that I'm going to do a WIP parade per se, but I probably need this. Hold on a second. Oh no, I don't need that one. Oh, I have my board right here. I don't need another board. Okay, so let's talk WIPs or new starts. Let's talk new starts. All right, so new starts. I should move some of these things out of my way because give me a second to move things. I'm not as prepared as I once thought I was. How about that? Okay. That might fall down, but we'll go with it. All right, new starts. First up, new start. The last time I talked to you, I let you know we were going to a retreat. There was 10 of us to sit and stitch with the Grace Notes team for the Grace Notes retreat. This is our planning retreat where we plan what we're going to be doing next year. And of course I got enabled to start this. And so it is by Primrose Cottage. It's the happy 250th birthday to America. You are supposed to do a stitch a star a day. I am not one to do small stitches, so I kind of passed this initially. And then I decided, I need to jump on board. And what I was doing is maybe doing a few stitches when my husband was getting ready for work. I just did the stitches for that week on that day, sitting downstairs waiting for him to leave for work. I am using a white, I have a color and cotton dark denim that I am using. as for the blue, and I have a Floss Tones Christmas, what she calls this, Christmas Barn for my red. So it looks very good on this fabric. This is 28 count Lugana fat quarter from Grace Notes Fabrics called Ada, A-D-A. Beautiful fabric, loving stitching on this. I am also going to be doing chicken and waffles on this fabric, but I opted to do 1/1, and this is where I am. Oops. This is where I am. That is across the whole, that's how wide it will be. I'm not sure how tall it's going to be, but that's how wide it'll be going 1/1. I'm just going to make it into a little pillow. The idea is that this will be done whenever we have our 250th celebration on July 4th of 2026. So I am a little bit behind because I had been away and I haven't stitched on this. So I'm going to work on getting this caught up later today because I'm going to my dad's. And this is a good project. I can just kind of take this along and work on this while I'm there. So that's my plan for that. So that's one of my new starts. Put this back in the bag or I will have it lost. And this is going to go with me. I'm saying that to myself as well as to you, so I don't forget. Take this with you, Carla, you knucklehead. All right. My other new start I want to show you is a kit that I had purchased, I think it was in this past year, by Pain Free Crafts. It's called A Wise Old Owl, and the artist is Chris Dunn, and this is what this pattern will look like. This, I originally, my friend that has passed away, we talked many times about purchasing this and stitching it together, and when she passed, I just decided that there was a couple of us, Beth Ann and myself, and I'm not sure who else, decided we were going to go ahead and purchase this and stitch it for her in her memory. And so I started stitching this along the way. I started it on Friday. I believe it was this past Friday. So far, I have, let's see, A Wise Old Owl, 2,142 stitches, and this is where I am. So I started in the top right corner. You can tell it's not my biggest full coverage piece by any means. It is, the count on it is 374 by 375. It has 60 colors in it, and I am up here in the corner, and when you look at the picture you can see the scroll. That's where I am at. So some detail, even though it's hard to put in perspective just quite yet because I'm still up in this corner, but that is that scroll that you see right here that I'm pointing to. And it's got a lot of interesting things when we get down here to the bottom, the telescope and all the things. So if you have this in your stash and you want to join us, we would be honored to have you join us. But this will actually has been, I'm assigning this to my Flosstube Frenzy. I am going to be assigning this to Garon Stitchery because the project that I have currently assigned to them, I'm not feeling. It's that Murder Pumpkin Street one. And the reason why I'm not feeling that one is because it's not Halloween. And it's not, like, it's getting Christmas time. So, and I really wanted this one to get some attention. So I used this week to knock off my stitches that I needed for that floss tube. And here's the floss colors. Like I said, I purchased the kit, so it came with my flosses already on the cards. So you can see all I had to do was cut the loops along the bottom, and it does give you the DMC numbers and the symbols. So that's Pain Free Crafts, and that is A Wise Old Owl. And these are in no particular order, but I wanted to, I kind of got my little cheat sheet here so I don't forget things, because I forgot things last time. All right, so next WIP is my pink flamingo. This is another one of my Flosstube Frenzies, and this one is thanks to Jen, the caffeinated crafter. I have this assigned to her. This is what it will look like when it is finished. Hopefully I'll be able to show you the before and where I'm up to now. I'm going to try and edit those in, but I'm editing on the road, so we'll see how that works. And I'm Jen has been a little turd. Yes, that's right, Jen. I called you a little turd. Ever since she realized that I have her as one of my floss tubers and that I do 400 stitches when you show a pet, I swear to goodness, every video has her starting with her stinking pets. And her cats are already in her lap. So, believe me when I say she has really given me a run for my money. On the pink flamingo, I had put in 2,665 stitches. I needed 2,600. That does not include her latest video she just posted this past Friday. I haven't watched it yet, but I am caught up with all the previous stitches, and you'll see why, because check it out. So I finished the candy canes. They still need backstitched. I finished the toe, all the sand, the starfish, the trees. I got to put the leaves on it still, and I've worked more on the waves. So I have made a lot of progress on this. So I should say, instead of giving Jen a hard time, I should say thank you, Jen, for making me pull this out. This is really fun. I don't know if I don't get it finished in December, it's going to go away again. So Jen, keep pushing me, because look, I think most of the full coverage things are down here, but then once I get this section done, it's going to be, you know, just the flamingo and a whole lot of pink. Bring on the pink stitch challenges, right? Okay, so that is Stony Creek pink flamingo stocking. I call it it's called the flamingo stocking. I call it the pink flamingo, and that is a fun whip. Next one I want to show you is Innocent Dreams. This is a Heaven and Earth design, and I have really done a lot of work on this one. I needed to get my 6 pages in. I did get my 6 pages in, so that qualifies me for all 12 patterns that they released in 2025 for the Hate Sal. They now have the Heaven and Earth design 2026 sal that is available, and it is open. If you are interested, go to the Heaven and Earth design website, look under the limited edition tab, and you will see the details regarding the 12 patterns that are available. I will try and insert a picture here if I can. If not, I am going to talk more about that at the end of the video, because I know not everybody does full coverage, but if you are interested in trying it, and it's always been something you kind of thought about doing, this would be a good opportunity for you to give something a try. Like the full coverage, because it is 12-page pattern, and you really do get a good feel for how to do full coverage. And it really is not as hard as people think it is. It is one stitch at a time. I stitch more quickly or faster on full coverages than I do on non-full coverage pieces, and that's because I know every square gets a stitch, and all you got to do is be able to count the 10, because they're 10 by 10 blocks, right? So that's my back. Not bad, right? So let me show you my front. I'm very excited. So this is where I am. This is called Innocent Dream. Let me loosen up my Innocent Dream. It is by L&L Designs, Heaven and Earth. You can only get this pattern if you were in this SAL for 2025, which is another reason to join the 2026 SAL, because the patterns, the 12 patterns that are there, are only available if you are a participant in the SAL, and if you complete your 6 pages before the end of the year, you will get all 12 patterns. So I said I wasn't going to do it, but I am going to do it. The 2026 Hate Sal, I am doing it. I will show you that in plans. But one of the twists that they're doing this year, they still have by people that sign up, first 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. They have 4 different free patterns that you get based off of how many people sign up for this Sal. And so far, I think we've made it through. We're over 2,000 people have signed up. At 3,000, we get another pattern that's free. And then at 4,000, we get another pattern that's free. On top of that, what is different this year is Amy Stewart is doing an exclusive chart called Stitcher's Haven. Nobody has seen it. It has not been released, but it is exclusive for the members that are doing the SAL that complete one page of a full coverage. So one page of a full coverage is not bad. Listen, this is 6 pages. So one page is probably this much. You know, that's it. It's 4 pages across. This one is actually 3 and probably 3/4 pages across. But there is my 6 pages. I still have one more row across the bottom for it to be a finish. I am going to keep working on it, even though I've met the 6-page requirement. I'm not pushing for a finish this year, but I will push this to a finish for next year. So, and I've seen people that have finished this and have turned it into pillows and wall hangings, quilts. I mean, it's pretty cool. So that is Innocent Dream. And on this round, I managed 2 page finishes because I finished page 5 and page 6. And I did 3,911 stitches since the last time I showed this to you. So I've done, I think, all of this part here going across because everything was kind of down. This is just part of a page down here. So, okay. And I left that kind of loose, way loose, just so I could show you. So I'm not going to unloosen it anymore until I get it finished. It's not much more to go down here. But that is a Heaven and Earth full coverage, which I do a lot of full coverages on this channel. Oh, you haven't seen this one in a hot minute. Let me pull over my designs. This one was another new start. I'm sorry, I had 3 new starts this month. I started this one, excuse me, when I was at retreat with Corinne. She's already stitching hers. She is gangbusters way ahead of me. I loved watching her progress, and I finally decided I was going to do it too. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. This is Making Finery. It is in the solo collection of Heaven and Earth designs. This is what it looks like. It is 470 by 630 stitches, 89 colors. I got a tickle now. I started this on Grace Notes Fabrics. Hang on, I need to get a little bit of a drink of my coffee here. Okay. It is on Greystone 28 count Lugana. That's right. I picked a hand-dyed fabric for this. The only reason I did is because, you know what? I know I'm going to have it in as a WIP for quite a while. And why not look at something I want to look at instead of always looking at the squares? Yeah, know what I mean. Anyway, I'm trying to get it out of my bag, but I've got it pretty snugged up in here because I didn't loosen it up all the way. So, oh, here we go. All right, and on Making Finery, I did 1,928 stitches. I only worked on this when I was at the retreat. I started it, and this is how far I am. And you can tell, I try and show the picture with it if I can. I'm up in the upper right corner, so you can see I'm up here. So we should be getting to the window soon, but that is where I am so far. And this is on 28 count. I like the I like the coverage. You can tell my threads are, I didn't have any bobbies with me, so my threads are just haphazard there. And this is on my Needle Needs frame, which is really lightweight and nice. Let me loosen it up some more so I can get it back in the bag. So this will be, we'll see this again. I told Corinne now that I finished the project that was assigned to her, maybe I would replace it with this one so it can get some more attention. I just don't want to have too many full coverages. I'm focused on at a time, but we'll see. I'll put this over here. Next one up is Fairy Tale Storyteller. This artwork is by Genovia Art. It is also a Heaven and Earth design. This was a birthday start for me this year. My sister got it for me for my birthday and kitted it up, the whole shebang. 500 stitches by 750. It has 85 colors. I really like it. I like stitching on it. Put it in my stitch and button bag she made for me. And not a whole lot to look at yet, but it's coming. It's coming. So you can see by the picture where I am. I'm up in that corner where the little bright stuff is, up in the right corner. As you can tell, I start everything up in the right-hand corner. And I was trying to do this one. It is 1/1 full cross on 25 count. And I was doing this, on the diagonal. Sorry, on the diagonal. And that's how far I am. So on Fairy Tale, I did 1,218 stitches. I was busy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, I was busy. Lots to show you, right? All right. Next up, and this might be my last whip. Let's see. Yep, did that one, did that one, did that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Okay, so the next up is, let me move this over here. You haven't seen this one in a while. This came from my game that I am playing called Travel-Flossity that I made up. We talked about this. I took a floor plan from a Florida floor plan off of Google and printed it out. Gave this floor plan to my husband with some envelopes and a list of my WIPS that I had not touched yet this year. He wrote down the names of the different places that are on the floor plan. Sorry, I'm trying to, like, words aren't coming. And so I have been walking through the floor plan and picking spots to go so that I'm trying to make sure I have these all together. Picking spots to go so that I can visit with my WIPS that I haven't seen yet this year. And then I roll a dice for how many stitches I need to do. Well, then I decided this time, I rolled the dice. I needed 990 stitches, but as I was stitching, I decided that I was just going to, whatever one I was visiting with, I'm going to do 1,000 stitches. Just 1,000 stitches. That gives me a great idea if I really want to progress with it, or if I want to put it on the back burner for a while. We won't say a UFO, but we'll say maybe a back burner, not really a focus piece. So this one is, I went to, on my map, the Master Suite. So I went to the Master Suite, and in the Master Suite, it was, and I didn't write this down, but it was Take It Easy. That's how I remembered that I went there. So, and the artwork is by Jeffrey Severn, which I love his artwork. I have many of his and many of his in my wish list that I get periodically, but I keep saying I need to finish more of his before I buy more. He's 500 by 675. He has 86 colors. It is Take It Easy. I love the moose. I love the owl in the tree. Everybody's sleeping. There's a bear. I mean, look at the little blue jay on the moose's lap. He's hanging in a hammock. How cute can you be? Look, there's even a little chipmunk up in this tree sleeping. So, okay. So that is Take It Easy. I'll put that over here. And you haven't seen that one this year. And I did 1,001 stitches on this. And I loved stitching on it. So I definitely need to figure out a way to get this back out. And here's where I am. So on this round, when I started this, I started it using CXC floss. And there's a distinct difference to me between the CXC and the DMC. CXC to me is very much fluffier, we'll say, fluffier. So I'm working on phasing out the CXC, which this is all CXC. See, I cut them short, everything, because I'm phasing those out and I'm transitioning over to the DMC because I like it better. And I've been getting rid of my, or I've been offering up my CXC in different places when I go, and I'm putting it into different game prizes. So just not a fan. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Is actually more cost effective using CXC than the DMC. It's just I don't like how it lays. It is great for me. I've used it on projects that are not full coverage, and that's great because it does give you more bulk to your stitches. But I do a lot of full coverage. So in this round, I finished this tree. I worked on bringing this tree and the branch out. So I've been kind of working on trying to get a diagonal flow here. So the next time I bring it out, I'll probably work down here, work in these stitches so I can get more of a diagonal, work my way across. So that's where I am. It's not the biggest, but it definitely is some progress. And how cool is that? You can see. I mean, look at that tree bark. Oh my goodness. So those are my WIPS. So let's talk. Put those away, out of the way. I'm looking in my bag, making sure I ain't got nothing else. All right, that's all of my WIPS. Let's talk the Haid Sal. So the Haid Sal I have chosen is, I believe it's called The Wise and the Brave. And this is what it looks like. So I did go through Thread Geeks. If you are not familiar with Thread Geeks, I suggest checking them out. They're doing a lot of sales right now. They do have a lot of full coverage. To me, they're kind of on the darker side. I do have some of their patterns. I have them kitted up. I haven't started them yet. But she also has got rights to do kitting from DMC. So if you have a project, it doesn't even have to be from Thread Geeks. It can be from Heaven and Earth Designs. It can be from Pain Free Crafts, anywhere. She will kit that up for you as far as the flosses. She doesn't do fabrics that I'm aware of, just the flosses. And she will send it to you. And this is the flosses that I needed. There is going to be 88,800 stitches on this. And I'm excited to get it going. I like the robin. It has not been released yet. Heaven and Earth will be releasing this January 1st. Historically, they've released earlier than that. But if you are going to do the SAL, you must be signed up before December 14th. So I just want to take one of these out to show you. She wraps them so nicely. But she has, if you go to the Thread Geeks website, she has a link there that you can get a quote for the kit. She will give you a quote so you know how much it will cost, and then it's up to you. But here it comes, and it's got that you can see she's got the DMC numbers, and she puts on the name of what project it goes to on each one, and it is the amount of floss that you would need for your count of fabric that you ask. So I asked for I think a 25 count. I'm pretty sure it's what I usually do. And you can see there's loops at the bottom, which is how Pain Free Crafts comes. And I'll just take my scissors and snip those loops and pull it right off of the cards. So, and then I don't have to worry about it. It's already kitted up. I'm ready to go. I just need to get my fabric, which that's no problem. I've got that here. I just haven't pulled it out. And I have it stored in this little Simply Tidy. I got this at Michael's. And it is a Simply Tidy storage case. It's very thin. But for those people that use Pakos, which I wished I had one here, I'll have to show you next time. The Pakos, you can put 2 of them in here. And it's a great way to put a label on here, you can stack them up, and your full coverages flosses won't take so much space. Anyway, so, and it's a project you could grab and go, which is what I liked. And I had some in, let me see if I can. This is my fairy tale art one, and I have it, remember I said my sister kitted it up for me. She put it all on these wooden floss drops. This is how much my sister loves me. She put it on these wooden floss drops that my brother-in-law wood burned what the floss number is on each one. So this is my ring of flosses for that project, and I just laid them in here and closed the lid and sealed it up, and it's ready to go. So that's how you can use it with the floss rings. This one is my Heaven and Earth Designs. This is my Making Finery. And this one, you can see I have extra flosses. It looks like a mess from the back, right? But inside, and I know a lot of you that do full coverage use Pakos, so I wanted to show you, it does fit in here. Your Pakos with my threads, and I have it by the numbers. And I just went through and arbitrarily put on how much I thought it would take. It helps to be more efficient with your flosses because, you know, like this, for instance, number 930, didn't require many stitches, whoops, because it's only got this little bit of thread. So you can tell the difference between something that maybe has thousands of stitches and something that has a little bit. So then I pull it from my master set. If it's anything less than 1,000 stitches, I just pull it from my master set and then add it to my Pakos. So the Pako is in, I can close the lid and it seals up and I'm ready to go. So it might look messy from the outside, but it's definitely makes it slicker than slick to take with you. And I got them at Michael's. They were 50% off when I got them. They were having some kind of a sale. So I started looking for those when they're on sale because that's an easy way for storage. It doesn't take up a lot of space and it keeps things together. Okay, so let's talk. Let's see. Hates Out, I think I talked about. Please make sure to go check that out. Flosstuber Frenzy, we talked about that. We'll update my board here in a minute. Let's do, where are we going next? So I was in the Master Suite, and I think what I'll do is go to the Outdoor Lounge. I'm feeling like I want to go to the Outdoor Lounge. So let's see where my husband sent us and what WIP will be coming out to play that I'll get to visit with in going to the Outdoor Lounge. So I made these little envelopes, and oh my goodness. Let's see where we're going. Heart of Spring. I'll have to find that one. That's a full coverage. So at some point, I'll get 1,000 stitches into Heart of Spring. That'll be, let me write that down. That's where we're at. Heart of Spring is in the Outdoor Lounge. So we will, oh, I'm looking at it on my side. Here we go. All right. So Heart of Spring, that's where we're headed next. Okay, I'll have to get that out. Let me put my WIPs and my envelopes and my floor plan away, and let's talk about games. You know, if you've been with me on my channel, you know I like games, and I do a lot of games with my stitching. It motivates the stitches. It gives me clear goals to reach. One of the games that is new that I haven't started yet, but I intend to, is from Wild Fox Stitchery. If you have not watched Wild Fox Stitchery, her name is Steph, and she has some interesting WIPs. She she made a game called the Threadwalker Saga. It is kind of based off of Dungeons and Dragons, I'll say. It sounds like a little bit. I haven't started yet. I'm planning on starting it. I don't know if I want to start it in December or if I want to wait till January. So I haven't decided yet. But it is so cool. She's got a great storyline. There's different classes that you can be as far as like a druid or a ranger, a wizard, a warrior. It sounds pretty cool. My husband says I'm definitely a Stitch Ranger. So here's the Stitch Ranger, just to give you an idea. They roam the realms of fabric, guided by instinct and perfect lighting. solitary, clever, always has the right needle for the job, a true master of organization and stamina. The weakness is that you're distracted by side quests and starts too many projects at once. My husband, I've read all this to him. He's like, you're definitely a Stitch Ranger. That's where you are. So I just thought that was really neat. You have to, her Facebook group has, it's Wild Fox Stitchery Facebook group, and that's where she has her papers for this. I'm just kind of giving you a quick glance. She has where you can put your character in here and make a story. I've made a story because I was going to do mine with my Stargazer for next year. And then you level, like you do, if you can see, 100 stitches gets you to your different levels. And then you have little, I don't want to say quests along the way, but there's like different colors, and you do like dice rolls. Based off your dice roll, you're either adding stitches or taking stitches away. And then she has like 10 monsters that you reach out to, like this first monster here. When you get there, it's the Tangled Horror. A writhing mass of knots and frayed threads. It feeds on your patience and grows stronger the longer you ignore it. That's the Tangled Horror. And so you roll your dice, and if you roll a dice and it's greater than 8, you defeated the monster. If it's not greater than 8, or 8 plus, I should say, 8 or above, you defeat the monster. 7 or less, you have to stitch another 30 stitches. I want to tweak some of the numbers because to me 30 stitches is nothing. So I'm kind of thinking about tweaking some things of making it, if I don't, I have to stitch another 300 stitches, like adding a 0 to some of her stitches, which I think will be fun. And as you level up, it gets harder. So the first levels are 100 stitches, and then it's 200, 300, clear up to 1,000 stitches to gain levels. And I just think it sounds like a lot of fun. I'm going to introduce it to some friends here this coming month at a retreat that I'm putting together. See how they like it, but it sounds like fun. So check her out, Steph at Wild Fox Stitchery. I also want to give a shout out to Grace Notes Fabrics, because she has a new one as well called the Grace Notes Stitching Adventure. And it is a Facebook group, and it is based off of my Travel-Flossity game. Kind of originated from the Alchemist Stitcher, because she was doing, no, wait a minute, I'm getting mixed up, sorry. My Travel-Flossity game came from Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and she has a Milestone Banner game, and my spin off of that came from Travel-Flossity. Well, Grace Notes Stitching Adventure took a spin off of mine because she's doing adventure parks, and so she is doing currently Walt Disney Park, and she's got food places, shopping, souvenir places, the different rides. And basically what you're doing is for each thing that you do, you roll dice and you added 0. So like I started with the rides yesterday. I had to do 300 stitches for the first ride I was going on. Then the next ride I rolled and I got 900 stitches. I'm using my dice bag. I'm not using all the dice for that one. For that one, I am using the 12-sided dice. So the most I would do for each place would be 1,200 stitches. So I thought this was a good, and you can use as many WIPs as you want, whatever WIPs you want. And I thought this was a great way to get more stitches into my projects. And let's see, I'll probably use that same dice, I'm thinking, for my Thread Saga. It'll probably be the same 12-sided dice, because anything over 8 we defeat. Maybe I'll do that. See how the plans are coming to my head while we're talking? Okay, so that is Grace Notes Stitching Adventure. It's really cool. Your first ticket was like $1,500, and then you go from there. My Gridiron Challenge, that was my Innocent Dreams piece, and I will need to do some math on that one, I think, to figure out where I'm at on my Gridiron Challenge haul. I'm just going to show you, because obviously we were at Grace Notes came, and I shopped. Some things were gifts and some things were not. We'll just say I went shopping. I did a lot of fabric dye. At some point, we're going to say I'm doing a no buy for 2026. So some of these things I'm going to hold off to show you in 2026 so you have something to look at. But we had some fun games. We did, people brought things. A lot of you go to retreats or you're thinking of what do I do for table gifts? And so I thought I'm going to show you. This came from Jamie and it's just a little autumn bag, Ziploc baggie. And inside, she gave us a skein of her floss tones. This one is Autumn Medley. She gave us a label for the Hayed Sal 2026. Matter of fact, now that I've shown that, I need to put that in with my 2026 project or I will forget that. I don't want to forget that. Okay. She also gave us floss drops that says Hemmed In 2025. And it's got the holes and pumpkins, and it's got a little blingy bling blink on there. So I'll use those for a nice little project. And we got another label for Hemmed In 2025. And sticky notes of Autumn Cappuccino. So those all were in this little Ziploc baggie. And I'm going to put it back in here, little autumn bag. But that's a neat table gift idea. And I got it from my friend Lynn, another great, we've been to many retreats together. I tell her Lynn is the reason why I do so many retreats because she knows everybody. And that is, and I thought this was a cute idea. It's a Lowe's bucket. And inside the bucket, and it had a lid, it was full of candy. Now I've refilled it. I ate the candy, but it was full of candy. I refilled it. And now this is in my little stitchy spot for a little candy. And I can just grab it and go. And the lid seals, and there you go, little Lowe's bucket. I just thought that was cool. So that was a table gift. We did get some gifts, and I won't say from who, but this is a handcrafted pumpkin. I'm trying not to glare it. And we each got one. They were all different colors, and just, it was like autumn themed. So I'm going to put that by my computer. And the gift that, one of the gifts from one of the ladies, because we'll just say, a winterberry bag. And inside was different things. I'm not going to, because I've added things to mine already, but we got little pink flamingo. I got flamingo stickers, a little pack of scissors. This is not your typical table gift. So to be fair, this is not a typical table gift. This is from a dear friend who appreciates all of our hard work whenever we do and help retreats. So little scissors, and I'm putting that back in here. I'm looking for what, it had a little finger counter so you can count your stitches. I added some things in here, so I'm trying to take the things I added in out. So I think it had these little sticky notes, but check this out. How cool is that? Grace Notes Fabrics, and it's floss drop hanger. That has a lid, and then it had some needle and some needles and the size that we used. And I think that was it. I added some stuff, so I'm not sure, like a nail file. Okay, check out the frogs. Oh, that's not a very good check out the frogs, is it? So, can you see the frogs? Anyways, there's the frogs. We had a big bowl of frogs, and we were playing a game, and so the frogs are still in here. We were playing a game. Let me put this back in here, all the things that I have in here, because I'm going to be going away, and I'm going to need this when I go away, and I don't want to have anything not in here that's supposed to be in here. Okay, so I'm going to leave that out. We were playing a game. Everybody, and I thought this was a great idea. So everybody had brought some like pass the stash type stuff. We didn't know what we were doing, but they made a game out of it, and it was, you know, when you frogged, you got a frog, and you got a little drawing raffle ticket. Like when different things was going on, every 100, if you got a, okay, let me back up. I am sorry. If you got a frog, you got one of those little frogs, and you collected those little frogs, and there was a trinket keeper that was a frog. My sister won it, I think, is who ended up with it at the end of the weekend. But that was one of the things. But the other thing was, for every 100 stitches you did, you got to put your name on a raffle ticket and put it into a basket. So we were stitching feverishly, and so when periodically somebody would draw a name out of the basket, and then you could go to where we had the pass the stash stuff at, and we could get things out of the pass the stash stuff. So I did get a bunch of things from the pass the stash. This isn't part of it, but this one was, it's like a little mat, so I'll use that, and some lotion, which I'll use. One of the girls brought that. I know I got some. Oh, I gotta show you guys that. Let me see. I know I got some other things, but I'm not sure where I put them at. Oh, this was in the pass the stash. So I got this, and while I was getting that, I grabbed some fabric as well. So that just needs my floss. And we had games. She had games like word searches and stuff we could play. I got Princess Pondworthy. And then I had to get Prince Pondworthy. These are from, I don't know, Fine Frog Stitching, I guess. Badger Gentleman. So I got those to stitch up. It was fun. We had like word search games, crossword puzzles, different things. So it was fun. And I got a bunch of floss because I'm going to be starting a project. I'm going to be starting a project on Tiger Lily. And I think that's what I was using this for. Maybe not. I didn't write the name on it. I thought I wrote it down what I was doing it on. Corinne, if you're watching this, did I say I was doing Tiger Lily with these colors to do that Long Dog sampler? And I thought I printed it out, but I don't see it here. So tell me, Corinne, is this what I was doing? Because I don't remember now. But I had that all together, I'm assuming, for a reason. So that is some of the things I got out of there. Another another table gift came from my sister. She made Gobble Till You Wobble, some foam stickers on floss drops. Her grandson helped her to put these all together for us, and she put little baggies together because this was the weekend before Thanksgiving, so, or 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. So it had 2 pens, one with they both have turkeys. So if you can tell, there's a theme here, and a bunch of turkey notes, sticky notes. You can never have too many turkey notes. I, for one, always like good pads because I'm always leaving notes everywhere. And it came in a little bag. And everybody got something a little bit different. But she got us all. How cute is this? I just love this. So it holds 24 flosses, and it has a little turkey on it. So that's what she gave us as, I say table gifts because there was 10 of us. We shared. we all gave something and got something. The other thing that she gave, and it was all individualized, but this is what I got. I wanted to pull it out and show you, is a cup that says, oh, this calls for a spreadsheet. Because it does. It always does. And a little 3D little piggy. Lynn and I are doing a pig project together, so she must have saw this. It's like a little, whoop, little 3D little pig that just sits there. That's all. Just sits there. So like I said, like the coffee cup. Oh, this calls for a spreadsheet. She laughed when I opened it because she knows that's my thing. I'm all about a spreadsheet. So if I can track it, it helps. It helps me. Okay. So that was the retreat. Talk to you about, I think that's enough haul. I have some other things to show you that I got, but I'm going to do that at a later video because otherwise this video is going to be astronomical. And we'll talk about plans slightly. I'm going to do a planning video that's more specific, but just general. I do plan to do the Haidsow. I plan on doing some focus stitching on Phantom of the Opera, Twin Towers, and Stargazer for sure. I want to try and get some focus stitching on those, so I'm trying to plug those in to the multitude of games that I am playing. And the only thing left is let's update the board together. So we have Alchemist Stitcher. I did not get her stitching in yet, so I am just a clanking mess. Let me see if I can get this up. So I still owe her 900 stitches, and let's see, I believe I did 12. Yep, I finished all of Guérin's stitching. I did not, and we're taking Murder Pumpkin off of the list. I did not do Friday stitching yet. It's not up here, but I do know that I've watched it. It is 900 stitches because Ronnie had a finish. He had a couple of finishes, and I believe there was a new start as well. He started something new. So that came up to 900 stitches. So this is going to be on a Wise Owl. So that's going to come back out. We changed that. Little House Neighborhood for Grace Notes Fabrics. That one is done. 3,000 stitches. Finished that. So I need a new project for Grace Notes. I'm kind of debating on doing I'm going to let you vote. Tell me in the comments below, should I do Making Finery for Grace Notes, new project for the Flosstube Frenzy, or should I do the, what is it? It's Welcome, it's a Christmas one. I started 2 years ago. I will try to find it and insert a picture and tell you the name. But let me know which one should I do. Hannah has not done hers. Hers is a signed Huckleberry Farm. Hannah, do a video soon because I would like to finish that this year. Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, I owed her a bunch of videos. They're all done. So we're going to mark her off. And I'm going to add on, I know that this past Friday she did a video, but I have not watched it. So I'm not sure how much I owe her, but I'm going to put a square here. And I'm going to put 11:20. I'm going to do 11:24. That'll tell me about when it was posted. And then Kim Hollenbeck is Twin Towers. She's a monthly. She hasn't posted her monthly yet, so we'll see what I do on that. And Lydia's Leisurely Stitching is Once Upon a Fairy Tale, which she did post. I put the 300 stitches there. I haven't stitched hers yet. That's Once Upon a Fairy Tale that we are stitching together. So I'll leave that one there. My Gridiron Challenge, Innocent Dream, I need to take off. Let's see, where's my calculator? We're going to math, guys. We're going to math. 9638 plus 2,500. Okay, so that equals 12,138. and I put in 3,911. So minus 3,911 equals, okay, so I need 8,227 on Innocent Dream. That does not include the last 2 Sundays. I don't have those totals yet. Stargazer, I added 1,000, so I need, I'm up to 10,400 I need on that. On Stargazer. And then on, that's for the Gridiron Challenge, that's from Full Coverage Fanatics. And then to my Travel-Flossity, we had Take It Easy, that is finished. We did our 9,900 stitches. Now we have Heart of Spring. Heart of Spring. And that one we need 1,000 stitches. So I'm going to write 1,000. Give me a little square. Oh, itchy Flosstuber nose. And let's see if we can get that done before my next video. So here's the board updated. Let's see what we can come up with. It's going to be pretty soon. It's going to be the whip parades. And that's going to be fun. So I think I would have been good, but I went away for that weekend and I didn't take any projects that I would do my Flosstuber Frenzy with. So I would have been good if it wasn't for that. So there we go. We'll just set that up there. Hopefully it stays. And wow, this has been a long video. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I have my little Christmas project up here. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope that you are thinking of our troops. Being a veteran, I think of my troops and have them in my prayers. And I know how hard it is on the holidays when you are away from home and deployed. So definitely hold them in your prayers. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You know, we think about them often and they're doing what they are instructed to do. And that's what, as a veteran, I can tell you, it's what we sign up for. And keeping us safe, doing their jobs. And we'll leave that there. I want everyone to be looking out for next month. We're going to be busy, busy, busy. I do have a retreat next month in December, about the middle of December, so I will definitely be doing a video prior to that. I'd like to do weekly videos if I can. If not, it will be at least every 2 weeks, but I want to try and do weekly videos if possible. I have no scheduled day to do the videos. I just look and see when my basket's full. I go, time to do a video. And I know I had someone ask me about doing a recording of my stitchy spot, which I do have in the works. It's just I'm not ready to share that mess with all of you yet, but it will be coming soon, as well as some of my recent purchases I will share with you soon as well. And I think that's it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your November. Tomorrow is December 1st. And pretty soon we'll be in 2026, and all the plans I will be sharing with you in an upcoming video. Take care, everybody, and see you next time. Bye.